welcome to our first episode of Behind the Name. My name is Velez. I am a certified personal and team development life coach, and I'm here today with my friend Tracey Long.
Yes.
Met Tracey back about a year ago, roughly.
It was around a year.
Yeah, we met. I had a speaking engagement at the Bridge in Bristol,
Right.
and just connected and had some conversations and decided that you were definitely the person that I wanted to interview first because of what you do.
Thank you.
So we're going to start off by thanking you. Thank you for opening up your home to us, and thank you for the opportunity to have people hear your story. That's an amazing story,
Thank you.
and we're gonna get right into it. So, first things first, Tracey, tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of who you are and a little bit of background.
A little bit of background. Well, there's a lot in the background, but I can briefly. I'll try to summarize it real quickly. I had a rough childhood, a rough upbringing. Drugs and alcohol are part of my story. Violence, abuse, exploitation is all in my background. I'm almost 12 years sober now, and I think I learned to find a purpose in my pain. You know, with all the abuse and everything that I've been through, the addiction, the exploitation, I'm able to do what I do and help the women that I do. I was kicked out at 16 years old, yeah, and exploited in ways that no 16-year-old should be exploited. And I was on the streets for a little bit, and got a job at 16 dancing, and it kind of spiraled from there. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, and a lot of things that I learned at 16 that I should never have learned and never have been exploited to.
So you run this ministry. You started this ministry called True Light.
Yes.
And what is True Light? Tell me what True Light is all about.
True Light is, can I tell you how I got the name first?
Sure.
Okay, because that's important to me. I submitted 7 different names trying to come up with the name for it, and in my frustration, I Googled other names for Jesus, and True Light came up, and so that was it. So it's True Light, and what we do is provide safe havens for women to recover and heal from addiction, abuse, and sexual exploitation.
And that was because of your background. Is that what led you to have the passion to start this ministry?
Yes.
So True Light's been in existence since 2015.
Correct.
Is when you decided this is something that you wanted to pursue. How many homes do you currently have?
I have 2 now. 2. I have one in Bucks County and one in the Kensington section of Philadelphia.
And since 2015, how many women have you been able to help?
Probably at least 60. And some we help, some are in and out.
Right.
Some get it, some don't. But I think with the program, every woman that comes in the doors of True Light hears about Jesus. So to me, that's 100% success rate. There are some that left and relapsed, or went back to previous abuse, but I see now that they're doing good. So they learn a lot when they're here. They don't always get it when they're here, but they do hear about Jesus.
So you have these 2 homes, and you've helped. So many women, and it must be very satisfying for you to wake up and know that you're living your passion.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy.
It's not, and you said satisfy every day you wake up. I think I want to quit every other week. I want to quit because it's hard. It's heartbreaking for the ones that don't get it, because you see them running back to people, places, and things that they really shouldn't go back to, or go back to the addiction, and living on the streets, and it's heartbreaking every time somebody walks out that door, and they just don't want it. But I can't chase them because there's always somebody new, so I've learned to draw emotional boundaries, but it is very rewarding when you see a woman, get those aha moments and they light up, and they get it, you know. And sometimes you can see when when something in their heart just clicks, and I cannot put into words as much as I try, because people ask that a lot. I can't put it into words what it does to me to see somebody get it and succeed in life, because we do have a lot of success stories.
Walk me through one of the most difficult moments since you started this ministry. The most difficult moment that you thought to yourself, "This is it. I just, it's over."
And it was, we had a girl named Rachel, who this house is in Bucks County is named after. She overdosed and she died in the bathtub upstairs. I've had 2 overdoses in here. I'm trained in Narcan. I'm CPR certified. One girl I was able to bring back. Rachel we couldn't bring back. She overdosed and she died. And I remember doing CPR for about 30 minutes, waiting for the police and the ambulance to come, and just looking up when the police officer asked me if she wanted me to if I wanted her to take over, and I said yes. And I remember looking up and saying, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I just don't. I can't handle this. And then going downstairs to find 7 more women crying and looking at me for guidance, and like, what do we do? So I was like, okay, I have to move on, you know. And but there was that moment where I don't want to do this. Like, people are dying, you know. But I'm not God, and I don't have the power to keep anybody sober, make anybody change. He's got that power. But it was in that moment that I realized that it's really just about bringing them to Christ. Anything above and beyond that, like sobriety and getting families restored and their kids back, they're all bonuses, you know. But it was in that moment I realized what my true calling was.
So faith is a huge part of your success, and it's the catalyst. Really, it sounds like it's the catalyst for everything that you're doing since that. But walk me through that moment where it became a turning point for you in your life. You described in the beginning what your life was like from a child and the things that you experienced, which not a lot of people make it through. And you know, the people that do make it is because of a specific something motivated them, something kept them alive on the inside. What was that for you? What was that turning point for you that just turned your life completely around?
It was prison. It was prison. In my addiction, I almost died. I didn't care. I think I was mad because they brought me back, and I was at a point in my life where I wanted to die. I was no use to anybody. I had kids that saw me like that, and it broke my heart every time I saw them looking at me, you know, picking my face up out of my food at the dinner table. I remember them saving my life and signing myself out of the hospital because I didn't want to live. But I remember, you know, I was saved before that and went through the worst of my addiction. But when I left the hospital, I remember like just being in fetal position and crying out to God, like sincerely. My heart was really, but I was crying out for him to take me. Like, just take me. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not good for anything. I'm not good for anybody. Please just let me die. And 2 weeks after that, I was arrested. So I tell people all the time, pray specific prayer. Don't be general, because, you know, I prayed for him to help me, and he did. And I got arrested, and I did state prison. So I have 7 felonies. And people who, you know me now and look at me now, it's like, no way. Like, yeah, I do, but it was a moment in the jail cell. Actually, it wasn't even the jail cell. They had put me in the insane asylum just because I was detoxing and withdrawing, and it was horrible, and I was just losing it. And so they put me in the insane asylum, and I remember a brief moment hearing the other calls the girls were making and them screaming, and you can hear them smacking their heads up against the concrete walls. And I remember just being on the floor rocking and just pulling the hairs out like I'm not going to make it. I'm going to lose it. And in the moment that I was ready to just get up and start, I don't want to be too violent, but smacking my head up against that concrete wall, I remember looking up at the door. And somebody before me had scratched a message in the door and it said, "My God will get me out of here." And in that moment, I just felt his peace, his warmth, his arms just wrap around me.
Wow.
And I stood there and I was like, "My God's going to get me out of this." And that was my moment. When I just sensed him, I felt him, and I knew from that moment on I was going to be okay.
Wow, that's amazing. That's it goes to show you what some faith will do.
Yeah.
And you know that's an important message because I'm also a man of faith, and I can tell you, you know, there's been instances in my life where I have felt a little bit of that pressure of life, right? How did you describe to me? You know, you came from a really tough upbringing, and again, like we said in the beginning, not too many people make it through that and become what you are today. How tough was it to forgive the people in your life that hurt you as bad as they did?
It was tough, especially my father. My childhood was filled with a lot of abuse. He was an alcoholic. I'm in a place now where, I know he did the best that he knew how. Getting flashbacks of some of the abuse and stuff, so that makes it hard to really forgive because you can't forget. You have memories. Memories will always be with you. But it was just, for me, it was in the process of doing the 12 steps. So I, getting out of prison, I did a lot of work in prison, out of prison, a lot of counseling. I can't pinpoint specifically when the forgiveness came. I think it was a process, but it was a lot of prayer for him in that process. And I think one of the moments was when I was, in the step process, I have to take a look at me and the things that I've done and the harms that I've caused, and then looking at him as he was sick, and looking at the things that I did when I was sick, in my addiction, because that's not who I was. And it was the same for him. That's not who he was in his alcoholism. It was how he was brought up, knowing that he did the best he can. In that understanding, gave me compassion for him, and in that gaining that compassion for him, it helped with the forgiveness.
You said something very key that is something that as coaches we really drive home with people. I've had the privilege of having clients both in the professional world, in ministry, and just people who just want better for their life, really. And one of the things we teach them is ownership. How to take ownership of what you have control over and what you can change. What is the message that you drive home here at True Light, and really a message to all women who have similar backgrounds to you? What is your number one message to them?
You're not your past. I think, we all have a past. It's not looking back anymore. It's healing and facing forward. When they come in from this moment on, there's a future. Face forward. Don't face back. It's not who you are. The things that I did, that's not who I am. The things that were done to me is not who I am. So finding out who God says you are. And that's the first thing we get to. I know, like True Light's signature verse is Luke 8:48. His daughter, he said to her, "Your faith has made you well, go in peace." So if he calls me daughter, then nothing else anybody else says matters.
That's beautiful.
It's,
That's great. That's good stuff. Um, the message that True Light is sending to all the women that come through here, in past, present, and future, is really one of hope, that you don't have to be the person that somebody else says you are. And that's something that, at Eddie Velez Enterprises, which is the coaching practice that I have, that's what I really teach people.
Okay.
In throughout. It doesn't matter what circle of life you're from, whether it's professional, ministry, personal. You don't have to tie yourself to the umbilical cord of someone's opinion. And it looks like that's really resonating here too. These women have different backgrounds.
Completely different backgrounds.
Different ages. You and I were talking
Yeah.
earlier. What's the range of ages?
From 18 to 69.
18 to 69, which is unbelievable.
Yes.
Because it goes to show you that True Light is not catering to a specific age or background. It's really, you're embracing them.
Yeah.
With
And
open
we
arms.
love them through whatever it is they're going through. A lot of them come in like I was, and feeling like they're unlovable, unreachable, hopeless, and helpless, and a lot of despair, and that changes quick when they come in. I want to just raise a community of women that support each other. So even with that age range, there's a lot of support. Women out there can be vicious and backstabbing, and human nature is just an evil thing sometimes. So everybody's trying to push everybody down. So we get rid of the jealousy, and really support each other and lift each other up.
Walk me through True Light's process when a woman comes in here and wants to join the program. Walk me through the process of what they have to undertake to.
It's a lot of work. So they come in. We have the intake process, and it's probably like 10 pages of policies and procedures and rights and responsibilities, contracts. We hold them to a higher standard in here. They have chores. They alternate cooking and cleaning and all that. They have to stay sober. They have to have a clean urine when they come in. So we have evidence-based self-esteem and evidence-based anger management. But each module I have backed by scripture. We have the 12 steps out of the Life Recovery Bible, but I also have them do the 12 steps with an AA sponsor. So we kind of double dip there. We work on quite a few different things too. So life skills, Bible studies, church is mandatory, so we have mandatory meetings just about every night of the week. They have morning devotion. Their mornings start 9 o'clock in the morning with devotions that they do together, and then throughout the day it's a scheduled when they work on the self-esteem, when they work on the anger management, when they work on this step, purpose-driven life. I add in too, because I think that's important to know why they're here.
You love all the women that come through here.
I do.
And I can see it. I can see in how you speak about the program and speak about them. But there's always one success story that doesn't necessarily make it better than someone else. I think anyone who gets through here is a success all in itself. And like you said earlier, for you, that success is marked by the fact that you're sharing Jesus with them. What's your favorite success story, though?
But I would have to say Nina, who is now my project manager.
Project manager.
She's my project manager. She's a house manager at the Kensington House now. So Nina took a Greyhound bus. She was homeless in Illinois. Got on a Greyhound bus to come out here, drunk, and she's got 2.5 years sober. She's been with me ever since she walked through that front door. She's become a good friend, and she got here about a month before my husband committed suicide. And she stepped up right away, so you could see the servant's heart in her right away, and she was Jewish when she came in. She's now a believer, you know, but yeah, so now she could run everything. She knows she's been through the program, she's graduated the program, did all the work. She could run True Light if I wasn't here, and I would trust her with it. Yeah.
That is from having no purpose, having no identity, no self esteem, no confidence, no hope.
It's an empty shell of a woman. That's
And she stuck it out and she committed to change. And now she's running, uh, she's an essential part of your program now. What makes True Light different? And in terms of why take a bus from Illinois to Pennsylvania for a program? I mean, I imagine there might be closer stuff to where she was stationed or living.
Yeah, probably.
But why here?
Well, she is from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
She was out there with family, and a mutual friend connected us on Facebook Messenger.
So what sets True Light apart from anything that another program may be implementing?
True Light is very unique in the fact that we are open to the addiction, the abuse, and the sex trafficking or sexual exploitation. Usually it's one or the other.
Okay.
So it is unique in that way, and it's a Christian program, which is unique also. There's not too many Christian programs out there.
What do you find you have encountered the most in this program? What do women seek help with the most? Is it the addiction part? Is it the abuse part?
I would say the addiction, but honestly, it's a vicious cycle that they get caught up in. Not just the sex trafficking, but the prostitution, rapes, that goes with the addiction. The abuse goes with that. It's self-esteem. You brought up self-esteem earlier. Well, I did too, because it's in the program that we work on. Because a lot of times when and it's anybody, men too, but I work with women. So when women are down and out, especially on their self-worth and their self-esteem, they'll allow certain behaviors. When you're caught up in an addiction, your self-esteem, there is none. You don't like what you do. I didn't. I didn't like the mother that I became, the daughter that I became, the sister that I became. I didn't like anything about myself, and therefore allowed, people to talk to me a certain way, to put their hands on me, because I didn't think I deserved better than that. So it's just a vicious cycle that can be broken,
Right.
but they just don't know how to get out of it. So that's
And you've proven that it can be broken. I mean, you're a living testimony, and so many women that have come through here, and it's just encouraging to know that people like you are still willing to take on the challenge, because it's a challenge.
it is a challenge.
And I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I coach, one or two people at a time. You're coaching countless number of women at a time, because that's what you are. You're coaching them through life, and that's to be commended, and it's to be honored. And I'm just so humbled that I can sit here in front of you and hear a little bit more about your story, because when you and I connected, didn't really get to share in depth because of the environment that we were in. But so before we wrap up, I want to give you an opportunity. I have two more things that I want to address. First and foremost, what is your biggest hope for True Light in the next 5 or 10 years? What would you want True Light to accomplish or to do?
We need more homes. There's no doubt. I have a waiting list for both houses. I don't have enough beds for the women that call me. And I say, we have the safe havens for women to recover from abuse, addiction, and sexual exploitation. But there are women out there that are homeless just because of bad times, that aren't in addiction. So I want to help more women just get on their feet and get a life back. But women and children, too, is part of that vision. The first vision that I had was 2 safe havens in the 5 surrounding counties. So, and what's scary to me is True Light actually has the potential to go worldwide, and that's a little scary, and
Why?
I'm not ready for that. That's, but wherever he calls me to go, I have to go. He's already proven to me that I can't tell him no, but it does. It has the potential to go worldwide. There are young girls out there that need help. There are women out there all over the world that need help. They need to know that they're loved. I think a loving father. There is a loving father out there.
How many women do you have on a waiting list at a given
I have
time?
5 right now.
Breaks your heart?
Yeah. It breaks my heart for the ones that I have to put out, because I do have to sometimes make that call, because it is a safe haven. I think women in the addiction part, the relapse, I work with them. There's
Right.
a couple of women that have been with me and relapsed a couple times. We're still working with them, but it's the attitude, and I don't accept any kind of threats or violence in any shape or form. So, but it hurts when I have to put them out. Because you wanna hug them and love them and shake them, because you want them to get it, and they just don't.
So Tracey, if you had one specific message that you wanted to share with anyone that's watching this right now, whether it's the first time they've seen it or they keep hitting replay on the YouTube channel or on social media, Facebook, what would you share with that woman right now that is battling with the choice of, do I seek help or do I remain silent and continue to give in to what other people think I am or other people say that I am? What would you tell that woman right now?
You are worth it. You are lovable. You can do this. Take away all those labels. Even the labels mom or wife, because I was a wife. My husband committed suicide. But I'm still here. I'm still going. You can get through anything. Anything. Don't ever forget how important you are, how loved you are, and how worth it you are.
That's beautiful.
And that's what it comes down to, I think, is just knowing that you're worth it.
I've dealt with situations, people that don't understand the value of worth. And what one person is willing to give a specific thing or person as worth, someone else is always willing to give more. But I know to be true that there's only one person that can absolutely value you beyond what anyone else can. And his name is Jesus. Do all these women that come through here leave with a strong enough faith, you feel, to continue their relationship with Jesus?
I hope so. I really do. I mean, I've seen girls leave here, and it's a story. I'm not going to put the name out there, but I thought she left here not getting anything, but she's doing good today. She had some mess ups on the way. She has her kids back, her own place, so I know the seed that I planted stayed with her, and I can only hope that seed stays with, but most girls that leave here leave with that faith.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Tracey, thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for asking.
No, thank you. I knew that when I met you and you shared just a little glimpse of what you do. I called you very shortly after that, and then we had
I
COVID-19,
know.
and it was a mess.
It was.
And trust me, I've been wanting to do this for months, but adhering to the guidelines of the government, and at one point we couldn't even cross from New Jersey to PA.
I know. My daughter, my grandkids are in Jersey.
Yeah, so it was a challenge, but we got it done. I'm super excited that I couldn't think of anyone else that I wanted to be in the first episode. And I have a lot of people lined up that want to share their story, but I could not do it until I had the opportunity to sit with Tracey and just hear her story. And it's inspiring. And I know that there's going to be a lot of women, even women that haven't necessarily been in that abusive background. You always know someone. And it's just, listen, all it takes is to like and share the story on social media, and someone will be blessed by it. Someone will be transformed by it. I know so. So, thank you very much, Tracey. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope to hear amazing things from True Light, and I hope that your dreams come true, because you said something, you spoke it, and you said it worldwide.
I know.
So watch out, world, because Tracey Long is going global.
Oh, yeah, global, international.
Global. Global.
It's exciting and scary all at the same time.
Yes.
Right now, there's a job here, so.
Absolutely.
So we need prayers for that, for the next step, because there is a next step coming.
Listen, if you were moved in any way, shape, or form by what you just heard, or someone that's going to be moved by what you heard, there's a few things that we're going to ask of you. Number one, please like this link, subscribe to the channel, share it. Share the mess out of this video right now. And if you feel in your heart that you want to donate to True Light.
So True Light is a 501c3 nonprofit.
So Tracey, how can they donate if they wish to donate?
So you can go to our website at True Light Recovery. That's www.trulightrecovery.org. And there's a donate button. We have PayPal.
Awesome. Make sure you donate, because even if you're not someone who has experienced the kind of background that Tracey has experienced, or the lifestyle that many of the women that come through this program have experienced, you can help save a life.
Yeah, you could.
And that's important. Anything helps.
These girls come in with absolutely nothing. A lot of them we take them, they're homeless. We'll get them right from jail, or right from, they have to run.
Yeah.
From a significant other or a husband, and they leave with nothing. So these women come in with absolutely nothing. We supply them with everything. So even towels, washcloths, personal products, we take in-kind donations like that too.
Anything helps. Absolutely.
Anything helps.
So we just hope that someone is moved, and get that checkbook out. Go to the website, visit the website, make a donation. It's probably going to be one of the best things that you've decided to do, because helping someone is far more gratifying than anything we can ever get. So thank you, Tracey. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure that you visit Eddie Velez Enterprises. Our website is up here. It'll be after the end of the video. Visit our social media pages. Make sure you stay connected. We have tons and tons of more stories that are going to be coming up in season 1, and I cannot wait to share this with you. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. We appreciate you, Tracey, and we'll see you guys soon.